fracking is a form of natural gas drilling, an alternative to oil, cause the oil kept spilling, bringing jobs to small towns, so everybody's willing. People turning on the lights and the drillers make a killing.
Water goes into the pipe into the ground. The pressure cranks fishes 7,000 feet down. The cracks release the gas that powers your town. That well's fracked, yeah, totally fracked.
But there's more in the water than just H2O. Toxic chemicals help to make the fluid flow. With names like benzene and formaldehyde, you better keep it far away from the water supply.
The drillers say the fishes are a mile below. The groundwater pumped into American homes, but don't tell it to the residents of Subway. That water's fracked. We're talking benzene.
What the fuck is going on with all this fracking going on? I think we need some facts to come to light. I know we want our energy, but nothing ever comes for free. I think my water's on fire tonight.
So it all goes back to 2005. Bush said gas drillers didn't have to comply with the Safe Drinking Water Act before too long. It was frack, baby, frack until the break of dawn.
With the EPA out, it was up to the states, but they didn't have the money to investigate. Sick people couldn't prove fracking was to blame, all the while water wells were rolling up in flames.
Cause it's hard to contain all the methane released. It can get into the air, it can get into the streams. It's a greenhouse gas worse than CO2. Fracking done wrong can lead to climate change too.
Now it's not that drillers should never be fracking, but the current regulation is severely lacking. Reducing toxins contain the gas and wastewater, and the people will get sick and the planet will get hotter.
What the fuck is going on with all this fracking going on? I think we need some facts to come to light. I know we want our energy, but nothing ever comes for free.
The idea of hydraulic fracturing is that a company will drill a hole down to some layer in the earth where they think they're going to be able to recover oil. And the problem with oil is that it's not sitting there in a big pool, but that it's just kind of like covering the surface of rocks in this layer. And so then they drill horizontally along this layer, and the way they actually free the oil up is that they explode it. And typically to do that, they set off charges within this drill stem that's down here in this layer, and it breaks the rocks apart, and then they can suck the oil out of them. And then what they use for the explosives is a combination of sand, water, and a bunch of chemicals. One of the benefits of hydrofracking is that it's particularly freeing up natural gas. In general, it's beneficial. We have suddenly gone from being almost out of oil and having a problem of being completely dependent on foreign oil to being one of the leading sources of oil in the world. And so we're almost caught up with Saudi Arabia. And natural gas can be used to run cars and things like that, as opposed to the kind of thing we currently put in our cars. Natural gas is the thing that you're using for maybe your stove or your water heater in some houses. And so as we convert our technology, our energy resources to using more natural gas, this will be more economical, it's going to be better for the environment, we're not going to have as much carbon going into the atmosphere, so it'll minimize global warming.
Some new alternatives to conventional fracking are LPG fracking and nitrogen gas fracking. In the most basic sense, LPG and nitrogen fracturing switch out the normal liquid used for the process. Conventional fracking uses millions of gallons of water along with sand and chemicals to break rock and release the gas trapped inside. The water then comes back up containing many chemicals. The water requires treatment before it can be used again. With LPG fracking, a gel made out of propane is injected with sand into the ground to break the rock. Once the rock is broken, the gel reverts to a vapor and comes to the surface, not containing any chemicals, and can be reused, reclaimed, and sold. Some of the advantages of LPG fracking are it greatly reduces water use per site to zero, and the propane will not dissolve the substances water does and return to the surface unpolluted. Propane also allows for more gas to escape. Like LPG, nitrogen fracking switches out the normal fluid used with nitrogen gas. There are three types of nitrogen fracking: pure nitrogen gas, nitrogen foam, and nitrogen energized. Pure nitrogen gas uses mostly nitrogen with small amounts of water. Because it is in a gaseous state, it makes it ineffective at depths greater than 5,000 feet. Nitrogen foam is a more widely used form of nitrogen fracking. The nitrogen gas is mixed with water and other additives and then cooled to a denser foam-like liquid. The higher density of the foam means it can be effective at depths pure nitrogen cannot be. Nitrogen energized fracking uses a fluid containing less than 53% nitrogen. The rest is water and additives. Nitrogen energized can be used at the greatest depths of all three forms. While not as water efficient as the previous, it is a vast improvement on standard fracking. Some advantages of nitrogen fracking are it enables rapid cleanup of flowback liquid, does not cause water saturation in water-sensitive formations, it enhances the production of natural gas and oil in low permeability and porosity formations. It is beneficial for both shallow formations and in depleted gas reservoirs, and it provides an alternative to slick water in areas prone to water shortages and drought. Now that you know what hydraulic fracturing is and the benefits it has, it's your turn to decide. Is it worth it?